Yo, what is good, everybody? Jets Nation, Fins Nation, Bills Nation, Pats Nation, everybody in the AFC East. Welcome back to another AFC East Roundtable. Tonight, we got a special episode because the NFL just released the schedule officially, and we know who we're versing week 1, week 2, all the way throughout the rest of the season. We got a lot to talk about in tonight's stream, and we got Dear Pats Nation filling in for Master at Work. So we'll start with you, Dear Pats Nation. How you doing tonight, man?
Pretty good, man. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Of course. So it's a different energy we're getting from Master at Work. So we definitely going to miss Tyson, but I'm excited to get a different personality representing the New England Patriots tonight. So again, guys, dear Pats Nation will be filling in for Master at Work. Dan, how you doing tonight, man?
Dude, like I was telling you before we went live, I have for the past 15 minutes been licking my lips looking at this schedule right now, my friend.
Ooh.
This is clearly on the way to yet another AFC East championship. This is another one, baby.
We'll see about that.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And TD's up to something.
Yeah, I don't know where TD's at. All right. Here we go.
Sleeve, man.
Josh Allen was at my front door. He needed a place to stay.
You troll, man.
Okay.
All right, so let's hear TD tell us that we're going 17-0 on the Super Bowl. TD, how you doing tonight, man?
See, that's very ingenuine, okay? We're going 20-0. We want to make sure we get that straight, all right?
Right.
20-0, baby. But we're good, man. We got the best schedule in the NFL. It's set up for us to go ahead and win our Super Bowl and demolish every one of your trash teams. So let's go, baby.
Let's go. We got a nice episode tonight. If you guys are new to the stream, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. If you are a Dolphins fan, smash that thumbs up button if you want to win the division. If you're a Bills fan, smash that thumbs up button if you want to win the division.
Happen?
You guys know the drill. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to all the channels down below in the description. You guys know where to find us. So let's jump right into it, man. So, Dear Pats Nation, did you get a chance to look at the Patriots schedule? And if so, what's your initial reaction to the New England Patriots schedule?
It's an all right schedule. This entire offseason, I've been saying that with all the moves that the Patriots made, it was at least 2 more wins. I've said that they've had a floor of 9, a ceiling of 11. On our podcast that we just recorded, we went through the whole schedule, and I had the Patriots going 9-8. So I nailed it right on the head of what I think they're going to be. I think the Patriots are going to be improved, but until I don't believe in Cam Newton. I'm not a Cam Newton believer. We'll see what can happen. I think the defense is going to be dominant. We'll have to see what happens offensively. I don't think we're going to see Mac Jones this season. If we do, he's a rookie. AFC East is going to be a tough-ass division to have to go through. And so I have them going 9-8. Again, we could have flipped a couple of games that put them to 11. Like I had Atlanta beating them and another team that we said we could have flipped. I have Buffalo fucking sweeping the 2 games. So I said, if we could split that, it goes to 11. But yeah, anywhere between 9 to 11 wins when I look at that schedule. It's exactly what I thought it was going to be before that schedule even came out.
Awesome. Good to hear. So we heard from Dan. He's licking his chops. Obviously, he is very excited about this schedule for the Buffalo Bills. So, Dan, why are you licking your chops? Do you think the Buffalo Bills are going back-to-back in division champions or what?
Well, listen, man. While I was waiting on my turn, I actually ended up looking up that list that TD was talking about before we got on. And right now, the Buffalo Bills, and for the most part, the AFC East, besides the Patriots lucked out, the Bills right now are have the 23rd most difficult schedule in the NFL, which is great, which is a great number, especially since last year, I'm pretty sure the Bills were like top 3. I think it was like 2nd or 3rd hardest schedule in the entire NFL. So this is going to be a little nice. Really just looking through all of these opponents, to be honest with you, I can count, let me see, 3-4 losses max right now from what I'm looking at. 3 to 4 losses.
What are you laughing at, TD? Dan's got the mic.
Yeah.
This is common.
Listen, TD, right? If he doesn't believe that a team that won 13-3 last year can at least do the exact same thing the following year after they got better, come on, man. Where am I at? With an easier schedule? Come on, bro. It's just real.
Listen, I love the take. It's realistic. You have something to back it up with. And I hate the Buffalo Bills, but I respect the hell out of you. TD. What is your initial reaction on the Miami Dolphins schedule? We know that it's the 5th easiest, so you think it's going to be a cakewalk, but let's hear it.
Super Bowl, baby.
Super Bowl. All right. Enough said from TD. That's all he has to say. I'm just kidding. TD, go off.
Listen. No, they built our schedule beautifully, honestly. We have no winter games. We don't have to go on the road in December or January to no winter games. We only have one back-to-back away in the whole season, which is crazy. One except the London, but that's not away. We're the most popular team in London. We are. That's a fact. But it's just a beautiful schedule, and the way that it's lined up, the way that it's set up from having rest, having breaks, having days, and then they finally gave us 3 primetime games. We go from 1 every year to now we got 3. It's on, baby.
All right. So it looks like TD is extremely confident in his schedule. And I don't blame him, man. Why not have confidence in your squad? So the Jets' schedule came out as well, obviously, including every single NFL team. And the first game that came out this morning was the Jets versus the Carolina Panthers week 1. We are going up against our former quarterback, Sam Darnold. What the hell, NFL? Like, that has to be the first game. I'm honestly surprised it's not a primetime game. I thought that the NFL would give us Monday night or Thursday night football against the Panthers with Sam versus Zach Wilson. But instead, they do week 1, 1 o'clock CBS. So we will see. But hey, the Jets schedule, I'm pretty sure it's the 10th easiest in the NFL. We are going to London. We are going up against the New England Patriots on our home opener, a game that I already bought tickets to. So Jack and I will be in attendance going crazy. So any Jets fans that are going to that game, make sure you let me know. I'd love to meet any of you guys. But yeah, man, I feel like the Jets, it's going to be an interesting season for us. When you look at the schedule, it's hard to give that record prediction, but I feel like the minimum wins we're going to get, at least I hope, is 6. Yeah, that's right. I said it. And you never know how far up it can go from there. I feel like the schedule is in the Jets' favor. Last season, we knew that every single team in the AFC East, the schedule is brutal. We're going up against a tough NFC division. We're going up against tough opponents, and all of our teams just had a rough patch, and the Jets were the catalyst for it the most, 2-14. But hey, we're not that 2-14 team anymore. We have a new coach, new quarterback, so we'll see what we can do. But now let's move off of the schedule release. We'll go back into it at the end of the stream. So let's just go over our thoughts of the offseason for each of our teams in particular, including the free agency and the draft, and just give an overall summarization. Are you happy with the moves? Are you unhappy with some of the moves they did? What makes you confident in your squad? What makes you not confident in your squad? So, Dan, what about the Buffalo Bills in free agency and the draft together gives you confidence that they improved throughout this offseason?
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, once you look at it, probably the biggest move I would say as far as offseason moves, and this isn't even acquisitions. I'm talking about who we were able to retain. If you were to tell me that we could have afforded to bring back Matt Milano and Darrell Williams and still have money to go out there and get a couple of free agents, I would have called you absolutely insane. But somehow our front office ended up working up their magic. That's great. We still have our core defensively, our core offensively for the most part. And rather than filling any glaring holes, we were just complementing some of the different groups that are within this team already, which is awesome. Love the Emmanuel Sanders signing. I think that we ended up getting him on a better deal as a replacement for John Brown. I think that he's slightly better than John Brown, who's more affordable for the team, which is always cool. There's going to be a route running clinic being done by the Buffalo Bills wide receivers, so I hope the secondaries are good this year on y'all's respective teams. And then obviously in the draft, I really wanted Najee Harris, really wanted Travis Etienne, but we all know that didn't happen. They ended up leaving afterwards, and we just doubled down on defensive end. It scares me a little bit because out of any position we draft, for the most part, defensive end seems to be the one that we regularly swing and miss on. So Bean went on ahead and he ended up drafting 2 in a row, 2 very talented players in college. So hopefully our pass rush will at least be top 10 rather than, dwelling at the basement of the league. And then I would say our running back room as well. I think that that's still a concern. We still have Singletary and Moss. We ended up signing Breida as well. That should be interesting if he can stay healthy. But I mean, overall, I'm happy, man. Honestly, I'm just glad that we were able to that we are blessed enough to have such a young team, that we have so many on rookie contracts, and our front office knows what they're doing. I feel very confident. I expect to see, at the very worst, the same caliber of Buffalo Bills football that we saw in 2020.
All right, very interesting. So, Dear Pats Nation, what's your overall thoughts of the Patriots offseason with the free agent moves and the draft together? We know that they went big money spending. They spent a lot of money. So the Patriots are going to be a very different team next year. So give your overall assumption on how you think they're going to be improved in 2021.
Yeah, so a lot of people want to focus on the offense. They want to focus on Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry and that kind of piece. But it's what Belichick did to our defense this year, and sort of some of the underrated moves that they did as well. Obviously, the most shocking move for me in the offseason was Matt Judon. I didn't see that one coming, and I almost went through the roof because I love Judon. He's my type of player. Bringing Kyle Van Noy back, who's had success in the system, it was a good piece. But he had a couple of underrated moves, and guys like Henry Anderson, who can actually set an edge, and Devin Gotcha, who can actually, contribute to stopping the run. And if Christian Barmore turns into who he's supposed to be out of Alabama, we've actually got a big, sort of defensive tackle who can get some pressure up the middle and can stop the run. Dante Hightower coming back after opting out last season was basically like a free agent signing as well for improving that defense. The second Dolphins game last year, to me, was the most telling sign of what that defense was missing, because they just embarrassed us and ran the football all over us. The Buffalo Bills, who couldn't run on anybody, ran all over us, right? Like you were going up against a team that wasn't running the football, who I think they had, one of them had over 100 yards in rushing. You could just run the football like crazy on them. And then when the run defense isn't working, you can actually expose even really, really good secondaries. The Patriots upgraded. Jason McCourty out. They brought in Jalen Mills, which I think is going to be a huge piece. Obviously, when you have $1 trillion to spend in free agency, you're going to outbid a lot of people and you're going to get players. I think that defense could possibly be a top 5 defense. The offense is going to be, it is what it is. It's all going to come down to whether or not Cam Newton can throw the football when he needs to. When it came to the draft, I'm prepared to say the Patriots had the best free agency. Won't say they had the best offseason when you put the draft and everything in perspective, at least now. That's all going to come down to Mac Jones and whether or not he can perform in the next 2 years before you can really assess that. But probably the biggest move, Barmore was my favorite draft pick in the second round. I actually had him as my first round target for the Patriots. That's who I want. I wanted them to trade out of that 15 down to like 20, 25 and take Barmore in the first round. So the fact that we got our quarterback and Barmore was huge. But Stevenson, the running back, is going to be, this obviously is going to be a ground and pound sort of football team. It's not going to be one in the air, at least with Cam Newton. He's an upgrade over Sony Michel. If he performs, again, he's a rookie. You never know how a draft pick's going to perform. But if he performs the way you think he is, there's going to be a 1-2 punch with Harrison and Stevenson. I'm liking what this team could look like in the future. Again, the future is all going to come down to Mac Jones. We could have our quarterback, or we could be back in quarterback purgatory. That's still a wait and see. Again, they improved 2 more wins in my eyes. I'm not looking at them as a 13-win team or anything stupid like a lot of my fan base is, but I think they're going to be a much more improved team. And I'm going to point it out to you guys, and I'm sure you agree. I already said this last year, and now it's kind of proven. In the next 2 years, the AFC East is going to be the best division in football. If all our quarterbacks pan out and everything, it's going to be the division in football. So, yeah, I was thrilled with the offseason. Again, I've been prepared, even after free agency, for us to have another quote-unquote mediocre year. Just to get an establishment year to try to start competing. 2022 has always been my sights of really competing in the NFL. This could be a fringe wild card team. We'll wait and see about that. If they don't, I'm not going to walk away massively disappointed, because we know that Cam's not the future of this team. It's going to come down to what Mac Jones can do.
Awesome. Very interesting take. We got a completely different personality representing the Patriots here on the AFC East Roundtable, and it's refreshing. Shout out to Tyson. I still love you, man. But all right, TD. So what's your thoughts of the Miami Dolphins offseason? How did they do in free agency? How did they do in the draft? What did they improve on? And what did you think that they should have focused on more? And give your overall thoughts on the Miami Dolphins offseason. Let's hear it.
Well, I think that we did a phenomenal job this offseason. What people have to remember is last year we won 10 games and we were the youngest team in the NFL. We had an offensive line starting 3 rookies. We had a rookie quarterback. I mean, just rookies galore. And remember, another 3 starters were rookies from the year before that. And we were able to do what we were able to do with the youngest team in the NFL. Not only were we the youngest team in the NFL and still got 10 wins, just 1 year of improvement this year alone should, if we did nothing, if we brought in no free agents, if we drafted no one, we should be a better team this year for the simple fact that those guys were so young. People forgot that 2 years ago, we had half of our team was undrafted players. We cleaned house, and we were able to come back last year and bring in 10 wins. That was a phenomenal accomplishment for this organization. And we were able to identify who our true starters were after that. That's why when we spent all that big money last offseason, most of those guys aren't even here anymore. We brought Calvin Noy in on a 4-year deal. After 1 year, cut him. But hey, we found the replacement. The replacement played just as good. And that's what we were able to do with even last year's draft picks. The players played so well, we were able to move on from a lot of these big money starters and just eat the dead cap. But the way we set our books up was so genius where it's not even going to hurt us. All right. So coming into this season, you bring in a guy from Houston, Bernard McKinney, a real true run stopper, a thumper. You go in the draft and you get Jalen Phillips at number 18, the best pass rusher. Yes, the best pass rusher, not that guy that Buffalo got at 30-something, Rozier or whatever. But you bring in the best pass rusher, and then you bring in Hollins to start at free safety. Man, this defense, I didn't even think this defense could get better being top 5 into the season, but we literally upgraded the defense like it's unreal to me how much better our defense got, because I'm not even naming other pieces that are just backups that are literally starters, man. They play great quality starter material players that's going to be backups this year, so that if we do have injuries, we're not as stressed as we were last year. That was the issue, the stress from injuries last year, always having a big old competition where we're not full strength and the other team taking advantage of us. But then you move on to the offensive side of the ball. We bring in a starting caliber tackle and Eichenberg, who hasn't given up in college football, didn't give up a single sack in 2 seasons. Not a single sack in 2 seasons. And this guy's just a mechanic with it. With those young guys from last year, the O-line is going to be better. And everybody in Dolphin Nation knows Tua has all the weapons he needs now. We got a healthy receiving core. You add Jalen Waddle to that. You add a tight end from college who caught more balls than any other tight end in college football, more than Kyle Pitts. And he was the number 3 tight end on the board. You add that weapon with Jalen Waddle in this offense. If Tua takes that next step this year, because that's the wild card, is Tua going to take the next step? But I'll just refer to the AFC East. All Tua has to do is what Josh Allen did, right? Go from being a bum to actually being, well, I don't want to give Josh Allen that much credit. But y'all get my point. I can't bring it out of my mouth. But if he does that, and you can call me a fan all you want, with a top defense, and if Tua takes that next step, I'm being honest with you, I don't see any. We are literally contenders for it all instantly because of the way that we built this team. The offense, we had woes because our quarterback and receivers were getting hurt left and right. We were throwing to undrafted players. You remember Brady the last year he was in New England. You remember what that receiving core looked like when Devontae Parker and those guys got hurt. That's what we turned into, but guess what? Tua still had a 70% completion with those guys. It's just that we couldn't have a deep threat, and everybody loaded the box to stop the run, and it made us kind of one-dimensional. And this year, we bring in guys that stretch the field. The Miami Dolphins will be the scariest team in the league, but the reality is it all hinges on Tua. If he takes that next step, I don't see us. I don't know who can beat us. And yeah, every team can lose games, but we can hang out with the best of them. And our offseason wasn't about just bringing in holes to fill. We were going to be better regardless, even if we didn't fill certain holes, just because of the youth is now a little bit more experienced. So we're winning, man. I said we're doing it right.
All right, we heard from TD himself. He thinks that Miami Dolphins will be going to the Super Bowl. They're not losing one game for the entire season. So, guys, when the Miami Dolphins lose week 1, come back to this stream and you'll hear TD say, I never said that.
Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
I'm just kidding. I love you. All right, so now it's time to talk New York Jets. Want to know why? Because this is on my channel, Jets Media, so I get the platform now. I know all you guys don't want to hear it, but hey, I'm about to go crazy because the New York Jets, everything is changing. Everything is new. There's no same stagnant, disgusting energy from the past regime as Adam Gase. Hey, we actually have a quality head coach that I feel like has what it takes to galvanize an organization, instill confidence in players, develop talent, and have an actual offense. Because this offense on paper made such a dramatic change. And yes, they are very young, but that gives me a lot of hope because this Jets team is not going all in for the Super Bowl in 2021. I understand that. I think every single Jets fan knows that this year in 2021 is not the year we can expect to go all the way. We're not delusional. We understand that. This is the year to establish a foundation, establish something that, hey, we got the right pick at quarterback. Zach Wilson showed us enough that he has enough talent to elevate guys around him. He can make the right throws. He looks like an NFL quality quarterback. We got a brand new playmakers all over the place on offense, a new running back, a top 5 running back who I thought was a second-round talent that slipped to us all the way to round 4, and Michael Carter, who fits the system perfectly. We got Elijah Moore, the best slot receiver in the entire draft. And yes, I said that. He slipped all the way out of the first round somehow. I had him going top 25. He slips us at 34. And then we trade up to get the best guard in the draft and Elijah Vera Tucker. So we're building around Zach Wilson. And that's so refreshing because the Jets' previous regimes, they do not know how to build around a young quarterback. We drafted Sam Darnold. We traded a lot of capital to get up to get him. And then we sacrificed it. And we just valued the defense, did not give him any protection, no protection at all, no playmakers, no coaches, nothing. Sam Darnold didn't even have a damn quarterback coach. What NFL team does not have a designated quarterback coach? I don't know. I know Miami Dolphins know who I'm talking about. Dowell Loggins was our offensive coordinator and quarterback coach at the same time. Recipe for failure. But hey, I'm not going to give that any light, our past regime, because it's a brand new era. We got a new offense running on Mike LaFleur, the younger brother to Matt LaFleur, who's the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. And Mike LaFleur has been behind Kyle Shanahan for a long time. He was with them back in Atlanta when they went to the Super Bowl. He was with them in San Francisco when they went to the Super Bowl. So he has a lot of experience under Kyle Shanahan. So we finally have a offensive system that is in place that has been very successful in the NFL. And now we have a lot of young guys. And I feel like our offensive line is beginning to turn in the direction of being potentially dominant. We have 2 pieces of the puzzle for the future. Mekhi Becton, I think that we all can say that he is a franchise left tackle. The only issue with him is can he stay healthy? And then left guard, Elijah Vera Tucker, the best interior offensive lineman in the entire draft. So our left side of the O-line is solidified. And then we got veterans at the center position and right tackle. Those guys, they're solid, but they're not like future pieces. This Jets team is so young in the offensive end where we're just looking forward for the future. Can they grow together? Can they develop chemistry? And it's going to be a very exciting feeling for Jets fans because we're not used to having a high-flying, exciting motions offense because we're used to going horizontal and doing crazy, terrible plays that Adam Gase draws up. And when you get to the defensive side of things, I said it last week and I'll say it again, this Jets defensive line is going to be a lot better than a lot of people think, especially with Robert Saleh coaching these guys. We got Quinnen Williams entering year 3, who has been an absolute stud so far since he entered the NFL. We signed Carl Lawson, who was the best edge rusher available in the free agency. We brought him in. He had the second most quarterback hits in the entire NFL behind TJ Watt last year. He was the missing piece to this puzzle for the Jets defense. And then we go out and get a guy in Sheldon Rankins to go along with Quinnen Williams. We have so many names on this defensive line. Vinny Curry, former Super Bowl champion, is going to be a veteran presence there. John Franklin Myers, Foldy Fatukasi. I mean, this defensive line is legit. And Dear Pats Nation brought up a good point because Dante Hightower, he opted out last year. The New York Jets, CJ Mosley, he opted out last year. So we're getting our quarterback of the defense back, which is like another free agent signing. That's somebody that we got 2 years ago and has not played a lot because his first season was all injury prone. And then he opted out. So we have not seen CJ Mosley. So he's going to be a big X factor. Marcus May has established himself as one of the best safeties in the NFL. Not the best, but he's up there, top 10 for sure. And I feel like we have a very young secondary. It's going to be exciting, high-flying defense to go along with this young offense. So the culture's changing. I love the moves for the Jets because they're not putting all their bread in the basket for 2021. They have a long-term vision. They got to build a foundation. And they just need to get things running. They need to show that, hey, this Jets team is not the same team where you can just look on the schedule and like, oh, that's going to be an easy win. We're going to be a team that's tough. We're going to be a team that's going to build an identity. And when you see the New York Jets on the schedule eventually, you're not going to want to see us, especially with Robert Saleh's defense. I really feel like this AFC East division is trending in the right direction. We have a lot of defensive talent, and of course, we have a defensive-minded division. All 4 of our head coaches are from the defensive side of the ball. So it's going to be exciting. I feel like everybody in the division should be excited. But hey, I know you guys are used to the Jets sucking and you're just assuming they're going to win 3 games again this year. But I want to remind you guys, everything is new with the Jets. I'm not delusional. I'm not going to say we're going to beat your teams twice this year. I'm not saying we're going to win the division, but don't sleep on us. Everything is new, so it's hard to predict what's going to happen. But I'm telling you, new quarterback, new playmakers, new coaching staff, new offense, new defensive scheme. Everything is new. So I'm excited to get these guys in the field and see what they can do. And I think the biggest X factor, similar to the Dolphins, did we get the right guy at quarterback? Is Zach Wilson going to prove to be a franchise QB? Because last time we drafted a quarterback high, we know how that ended up. But the one thing I will say is we're building around Zach Wilson for every single resource possible for him to succeed. So if he fails, it's more on him. We're not going to bring up Sam as much, but the Jets are building around Zach Wilson properly with the resources, with the coaching staff and the playmakers and the protection in order for him to succeed. So it's all on Zach Wilson. I'm not expecting him to light it up as a rookie. I understand that you're going to have some, bumps in the road as a rookie. Like, for example, Tua, he did not flash as a rookie, but I do not think he's a bust. I think he has a lot of room to grow and show that he's a very quality quarterback. And Josh Allen, of course, his year 1 and year 2, a lot of people didn't even think it was a franchise quarterback. Year 3 turns into an MVP. So every single quarterback has their own little story. So I'm curious to see what Zach Wilson has to do with the New York Jets. So now we're going to pivot and start talking about all of our teams, because why not? So, Dan, you want to say something? Or you were doing your hand gestures? I'm not very good.
Yeah,
okay.
No. First off, I was going to give credit where credit was due. I would say out of any team in the AFC East who had the best offseason, I would have said the Jets did.
Oh, why so? Elaborate, please.
Lies.
Dude, I mean, just like the free agents that you guys ended up picking up, I mean, especially with Corey Davis, absolute stud. I think that was probably like the best thing you possibly could do for a young quarterback like in Zach Wilson. You drafted well. I mean, honestly, man, I think that, and granted, I mean, you definitely had a lot of resources. Y'all had like third most cap, I want to say, throughout the entire NFL. So, I mean, you had money to spend, but very good moves, man. Very good moves. I'll give credit where it's due.
I appreciate that. So that segues into what I was going to ask you initially. If you can give your assessment on every team in the division. So you gave your assessment on the Jets. What are your thoughts of the Patriots and the Dolphins and how they improved or how you feel like they got worse?
No, I mean, obviously, I think every single team in this division ended up getting better after this offseason. I don't think anybody had a terrible offseason by any means. I already went ahead and I spoke about the Jets. I mean, I still think that you guys are about like a year or 2 away from being competitive, to be honest with you. I'd say more so a year. Granted, I definitely see you guys winning more games, sort of making that transition to not only a new coach, but a young quarterback as well. So I still think that you're still in the early stages of building your empire, if you will. The Patriots and Dolphins, I mean, they made great moves, especially the Patriots. I mean, like that duo of tight ends they signed was almost overkill, but I mean, why not, right? But what the Dolphins and the Patriots have in common is the fact that they have a lot of questions at quarterback. I don't trust either of their quarterbacks, and hence why I'm still feeling pretty confident that the Bills are going to sweep the AFC East again.
Okay. I love it. All right, dear Pats Nation, you want to give an assessment of all 3 of the teams in the AFC East and how you think they did in the offseason?
Yeah, they all did okay. The Bills got a little better. They're going to look very similar to what they looked like last year. Obviously, they were in a position where they couldn't make the big moves that every other team could make in that division because more money and more everything. To be honest with you, prior to the draft, I thought that the Patriots had leapfrogged the Dolphins. After the draft, I thought the Dolphins leapfrogged back because of the picks that they made to that draft that solidified some of those positions that they really needed to solidify. I agree with Dan. The Jets did well. You're still a couple of years away, at least a year away. Like we've talked about the Jets being 2023 is sort of that shoot year when we think they're really going to come alive. The Dolphins I think are going to be not surprisingly, that's the wrong word, but are going to be an even better team than I think people are. But again, Tua is the question mark. Not that I don't think he can't, but it's always to see what a quarterback's going to do on their second year and how they leap up, right? It's also why, like, as a Patriots fan, I'm happy that we got the Dolphins week 1 and not like week 6 or 7 when he starts to get into a rhythm in mid-season, right? It's what it is. The Bills are going to be an interesting team watching forward because those are the kind of the teams, I guess, if TD would throw the Dolphins in there as well, but you guys, the Bills are the team that I look at competing with the Chiefs and the Ravens that you're trying to, go forward. But there's a different way of manipulating the salary cap right now. And I got to say that Brett Veach has done a phenomenal job doing that, especially when you look at like Mahomes' contract, where in 2 years they got an opt-out for nothing and they can restructure that entire deal and redo things where Buffalo, I think at some point is going to get into trouble with their salary or they're going to lose key players. I don't think that Bean really played the salary cap the way I think he should have. So it'll be interesting how I'm not saying they're not going to be sustainable because you got Josh Allen. And I already said 3 years ago that after Tom Brady, Josh Allen was going to be the best quarterback in the AFC East. I don't know why nobody fucking saw it. You know what I mean? It was
trash.
And I got receipts to say I knew what Josh Allen was going to do last year. It'll be interesting to see how far they can go, but everybody looked good. Like I said, by next year or the year after, this is going to be the best division in football, and there won't be another. You can point to the North, you can point to whatever you want to. This will be the best division in football, especially if Mac, Tua, and Wilson can really become who we think they can become.
Very interesting. I love to hear it. Like I said earlier, a completely different take than what we're used to here on the AFC East Roundtable from the Patriots side of things. So, TD, what's your assessment on all of your rivals without bringing up the Miami Dolphins?
This should be good.
Dolphins going undefeated. But anyway, but he's right. Let me piggyback off Dear Pats Nation what he said. He's right in the regards to, that's one thing I noticed, like, because I was trying to figure out how did Buffalo, manipulate the salary cap, because there's ways to do it, but basically theirs is a little different than the way the Chiefs did it or Tom Brady's doing over there in Tampa. They're just kicking the can down the road, and eventually that can's going to get full and it has the potential to explode. Like, oh, we got to lose. It's no more kicking that can be done. So Buffalo, I think that they are going to be a very competitive team this year, but with the competition coming back up to the closer to their level, I think that, and a lot of people may not see it this way, I think they fall this year. Still a successful season, but the competition level, and let's not forget this, ladies and gentlemen, last year with all the COVID off weeks and then playing again later and all of that crazy stuff, there's a lot of unknown going into this season with a normal season coming in, how that can affect how things go. But I will say Buffalo did a good job for the simple reason that they were able to maintain, the nucleus of that team and bring it back and still be able to add pieces for the future in the draft. Now they just have to hope that more of those pan out so that whenever that salary cap bubble does come, there it's easier for them to move on. So I give Buffalo a win this offseason because they did enough to at least stay where they are, but I don't know if they take a next step. And that's where I'm at with Buffalo. So they'll still be contenders. They'll still be right there at the top with most of the good teams. But next step, I still don't see that, because what happened to them in the AFC Championship game, listen, that it almost made them look like they need a whole new team. And that's just the truth. They got obliterated. They got obliterated. Let's call it what it was on the AFC Championship game, they made your quarterback look like he was a rookie again. And that's the truth. All right, which he is. I don't know. That's what you're going to get going forward. But anyway, I hope so. Going to the Jets.
17?
What happened
about week 17? No, that's a blowout. That's where
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because y'all did it. Y'all did it when it mattered most in the AFC Championship game. Okay, but anyway, going off of another thing, our good friend from the Patriots said, and I forgot what he said. But anyway, Richie, it's about y'all. Richie, y'all had a good draft. And the offseason, I'm not the biggest fan of your offseason and the players you came in because for your team, it's about who you draft on those small salaries for the future. And I think you all were top 3 in the NFL with your draft. I think you brought in some valuable pieces, but like everybody keeps telling you, I see you all 2 years away from being contenders. You will make moves. You'll have up and down moments, but let me tell you what no one is talking about. We can rave about the new coaches all we want, but you don't know what you're going to get with your head coach being a head coach. All right, we don't know what we're going to get with him running this organization. So that's where it starts. You can have all the talent, but he can make them look bad. Or you can have a great coach and they can make him look bad. So that's what you all have to figure out first. Making sure that you find the perfect blend and the coaches are doing what they need to do and bringing the players along, because it's not about the decisions that are coaching. Coaching is all about who can develop talent, who can develop the undrafted player, the 7th round pick, the 6th round pick, the 5th round pick, all of those guys. That's where organizations start to win. And that's why I'm happy that's where we're winning, because we've been able to do it. In regards to the Patriots, I hate them. They're trash, primarily because the math that works. But you know what, dear Pats Nation, you've got my blood pressure down a little bit, man. You actually said some realistic things, man. You had your ceiling is 9 and 8.
My floor is 9 and 8. My ceiling's 11 wins.
Well, I got your ceiling at 9 and 8. All right, so we'll go with that. But you brought in a lot of weapons, and I low key see what y'all did on defense. I low key see what you did on defense. See, you pulled the slick one because everybody's focusing on all the moves that you made on offense, but the 2 to 3 little moves you made on defense actually elevates the defense even better than what it was. Like you said, you moved off of Jason McCourty, still a valuable player, but you upgraded. You know, he isn't the same, and we brought him in for depth now. He's a depth piece, which is a big ups for us because that's where his career is now, being a real solid depth piece, especially under Flores, who they have that chemistry. So the Patriots, man, they low-key did get better on defense, bringing in Devon Godchild, like you said earlier, stuffing that run up the middle. He is a beast doing it. He definitely is the guy to do it, but he was hurt last year. He did sit out, and we would have loved to. That was the biggest question all year. Are we going to bring him back? But we kept getting nose tackles. We kept bringing in first-round picks and all this and that. So we knew that we either weren't going to be able to afford him or it was just time to move off. But great quality player. He's no longer with Miami, not because of his skill, but just a simple fact, we actually got younger and found a guy who plays just as well, okay? So it was easier for us to take that cap hit. The Patriots' defense is going to be a concern. Their offense, that's where it matters. Cam Newton, Mac Jones, you got to figure that out because you don't know what version of Cam Newton you're going to get on any given week. And when it comes to Mac Jones, rookie, same situation as Tua, you know, all of these guys, you don't know what to expect. But overall, and you're right. You have a fluctuation. We don't know what it's going to be. So that's my take on the AFC East. And last thing, man, Josh Allen is just a bum. He's going to digress. Everybody has the playbook on him from the playoffs. Once that happens to your quarterback, everybody knows what to do. Everybody knows what to do. Get ready, Dan. Get ready for the mails.
Dan's ready.
So what's that say for Tua then?
Super Bowl.
So now we're going to segue into Dan is going to give us his game-by-game record prediction. So we got the Buffalo Bills schedule on the board. We're going to go around the table. This is going to be tough. And we're going to skip TD because he's going to say win 17 times in a row.
We already know what's going to happen. So.
But we got some realistic, men right here, Richie, Dan, and Dear Pats Nation. So We might have to skip TD because he thinks he's going 17-0. But it's all good. I'm just
Let's go,
playing.
baby.
So,
Super Bowl.
all right. Week 1. Buffalo Bills home against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who do you got, Dan? Is he frozen?
Yeah, remember YouTube's
Wow.
rules. Anytime you're about to lie, they freeze you.
Oh, my goodness.
He'll be back. He'll go out and come back in. You might as well move on then.
All right. Well, he's gone. And this graphic's a little zoomed out. I don't know if it's a good one. I tried. Should I use ESPN maybe?
No, I mean,
Yeah.
that's
You
fine.
hear me? Yeah, you hear me?
Yo, are you here?
Yeah. For some reason, my internet just took a shit. But all right,
Oh,
we're here,
okay.
baby.
All right. So
So
I
I
want,
was asking, you want me to give you like explanations or just a simple dub or a loss?
a little explanation will be fine.
Got it for sure. And so you said
All right.
week 1.
Week 1.
I have that being a win. This is going to be the first time that our stadium is going to be filled for an entire calendar year. I think Ben Roethlisberger should have retired last year. Their defense is still very good. I don't foresee us blowing them out by any means. Defense is still pretty scary, but I see the Buffalo Bills winning this game and being 1-0.
All righty. Week 2, you go down to Miami.
No explanation needed. W.
All right. 2-0.
90 degrees.
Washington football team at home.
Washington football team. I also anticipate this as a win. Their defense is good, though, man. They have an amazing secondary. Ron Rivera is a genius defensive coach. And actually, Sean McDermott sat under him as defensive coordinator in Carolina before he came to Buffalo. So that should be an interesting matchup. But let's just say when they added the 17th game, we were very lucky that the Washington football team was the team that we had to play since they paired the AFC East first finisher with the NFC East first finisher. So we lucked out on that one. So 3-0.
All right. 3-0 for the Buffalo Bills. And then they go up against the Super Bowl favorites, Houston Texans.
The Houston Texans. Mark my words, they will be the worst team in the NFL next year. If there was, say that I can find some type of bet in Vegas that I could throw like a grand down that they will have the worst record in football, I would win.
All right. So you're 4-0. Now you're going up against the
4-0.
Kansas City Chiefs on
Yep.
Sunday Night Football.
We lose that game.
All right. So your first loss of the season. Then you go to versus the Tennessee Titans.
The Tennessee Titans, we win that game. And so
Okay.
a little bit of revenge from last year.
So what are you, 5-1?
We're 5-1.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're entering the bye week 5-1. Then you go up against the Miami Dolphins at home again.
We're
you got?
gonna, yeah, we're
We're sweeping the Miami Dolphins.
sweeping the Dolphins.
Buffalo Bills
Get it
are
out of the
going
way.
to make Tua look silly, according to Dan. All right.
Yeah.
So what's that? 7-1.
Yep.
Jacksonville.
We'll win.
8-1. Hardest team on the schedule so far. New York Jets.
9-1.
All right. Indianapolis Colts.
We lose.
Oh, man. Okay. So that's 9-2. Saints.
Win Thanksgiving. Josh Allen's going back on national television after Turkey Day. Dub.
10-2.
Yep.
This is a Monday Night Football game against the Patriots at home.
I have us winning this game as well.
11-2. You go to Tampa Bay to verse Tom Brady.
We lose.
11-3. You verse the best quarterback in the NFL, Sam Darnold. Who you got?
We win. We win.
What's that? 13-2.
Yeah. Yep. And
Okay.
so
Patriots.
no, that's
In
13-3.
13-3.
Yeah. I have. It's honestly, man. I have us winning those last 3 games.
So you're going 14-3.
Yeah.
All right.
Try.
All right. Well, the Jets are getting one on you this year.
Basically-
This is the year it's
Basically
happening.
the
Dan.
exact same. Basically the exact same schedule as last year. Well, basically the same record as last year because, like Ray put very well, we're going to be probably about the same as we were last year. Maybe marginally better. So I'm saying 14-3.
14-3 for Dan Mitchell. Love to see it. All right. Dear Pats Nation, you're up next. Here is the New England Patriots schedule. We're going to go game by game and give us your realistic, hopeful predictions. So starting off with week 1, you're versing TD.
All right, I was so excited to get the Dolphins week 1 because week 1 is so much different than week 4, 5, or 6.
Revenge.
I think that Belichick's going to throw shit at Tua he's never seen before. Defensively, they won't be able to run the football. I mean, Tua had 145 yards on the Patriots when they smoked them. They're not going to be able to run on them. I have the Patriots winning week 1.
All right. Week 2.
Yeah. I got this beating the Jets too. Sorry, man.
It's all good. 2-0. All right. You're versing the Saints.
So I actually got the Patriots starting 3-0 on the season. I think they're going to
3-0.
beat the Saints. I don't trust the Saints quarterback situation there. I actually trust Cam Newton more than I trust Jameis or Taysom. So,
and then you got Tom Brady returning. Oh my God, the tickets are as low as $1,200 for this game. That's crazy.
Yeah,
All right.
my partner's out in Boston. He said they're already like $4,500 online right now for those games. All right, this is what's going to happen. Okay. First of all, it's not going to be the Bucs versus the Patriots. It's going to be Brady versus Belichick. Nobody's even going to realize that there's any other players or coaches there. Okay, Brady's going to win. The Patriots are going to go 3-1, and the fucking sensitive Patriots fan base is going to start screaming that Brady was the fucking dynasty and that Belichick is a fraud, and we're going to hear every fucking combination of Belichick in the world when everybody on this panel knows week 4 really is going to have no fucking impact on the entire season or whether or not a 20-year dynasty has anything to do with one game. So that's it. So they go 3-1. I just had to get that out.
I love that. All right, keep going.
Then they're going to beat, that's Houston, right? Then
Yeah.
they're going to beat Houston because I fucking knows who's going to play quarterback for them.
Dallas.
They're going to lose to Dallas. Dallas is a good team. If Dak is back, I don't think people realize how good Dallas actually is.
So you have 1 loss so far, right?
2.
Oh, no, 2 losses. So that's 5-2.
Yep.
All right. So then you verse the Jets again.
Man, maybe this is recency bias, but I have us sweeping the Jets this year. I really do. Them.
I mean,
ain't no bias.
Very, very reasonable. As coming from a Jets fan. All right. So that's 6-2. Then you go to LA and verse the Chargers.
Yeah, Herbert's going to get his revenge. I think the Chargers are going to be really good. They're going to beat the Patriots. So that's going to be
7-3. And then you go to Carolina.
Yeah, Cam's going to get his homecoming revenge on them. And then this part of the schedule is where it all goes downhill for us.
All right, so that's 8-3, and then you're going up against the Browns.
Yeah, so right now we're all going to be predicting Super Bowl, okay, just so you guys know, because it's 8-3. Then we're going to lose to Cleveland.
8-4.
We're going to lose to Atlanta.
8-5.
We are going to excite everybody because we're going to beat Tennessee, who's gotten way worse than they were last year.
9-5.
We're going to lose to Buffalo on Monday Night Football.
So that's 9-6.
Yeah.
Then you got a bye week.
Yeah,
and
then we're going to lose to Indy.
9-7.
That Buffalo again. We're getting swept to Buffalo.
Wait, I think I'm losing my track here. What are you, 9 and?
Have some dignity, man. Not Buffalo.
Wait, so what is that? 9-7? But that sounds
No, I think
wrong.
we're 8-7 right now.
8-7.
Right? Yeah. Then we're going to beat Jacksonville.
Okay.
And
9-7.
They don't fucking win in Miami, so it wouldn't matter who the fuck's on the field. But Miami's going to have it together by then. They're going to lose to Miami. That's how I get to 9-8.
9-8. All right, that sounds like a very realistic, prediction. I think 9-8 is definitely very possible for the New England Patriots, if I had to guess. So now we have to go and listen to TD say they're winning every single game. So let's hear it.
No, in all seriousness, Richie, listen, you don't need to pull our schedule up, okay? Because I'd rather replace my predictions with the question for you 3, okay? Because we're going 17-0. And in worst case scenario, we go 16-1 because we're just not ready to beat the Bucs in week 5, but we're going 17-0. I'm serious. So don't worry about that. I got a better question for you all, if you don't mind, Richie.
Of course,
I want to hear. I would love all 3 of you to answer this, and I'm being dead serious here. If the Dolphins do trade for Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson this offseason, what do you think about this team? A real serious question. What do you think about the Dolphins then with our defense and offensive weapons adding Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson this offseason? You're curious.
You're giving up Tua for that, obviously, right?
Yes.
Yeah, what are you getting? What are you giving up to get those?
You're just giving up 3 firsts, a 4th, 5th, and 6th next year, and Tua. Done.
If you give up Aaron Rodgers, yeah, you'll have a chance for a Super Bowl. But I think that's I think it's stupid. I think you can compete for a long time with Tua. Deshaun's different. If you could trade Tua for Watson, You know, if he gets suspended, he's going to miss 8 games at the most. You know what I mean? Or a whole season. You're going to have him for a long time. Fuck, that Dolphins team would be good with both those guys, but I wouldn't fucking trade for Aaron Rodgers for 2 seasons, maybe 3.
So will we be number 1 in the AFC East with Watson?
Not this year because he'll be suspended.
Listen, bro, he'll get 4 games and he'll repeal it to 2, just like Ben did, and that was worse.
I don't know. They gave AB 8 games, right? And
yeah, but he's settling this. There's no criminal. He's settling this.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
yeah, I'm saying if he plays,
it'd be tough to not call them the best if they have Deshaun Watson, especially with Flores. Flores is a good coach, man. Like, Flores is finally a Belichick disciple who didn't try to be Belichick. You know what I mean? And went there and became a good coach. It's man. If you had Watson, yeah, you guys would be the best team in the division.
I honestly hate TD for putting this hypothetical in my brain, so I'm gonna let Dan take the reins here before I speak on it.
I am not addressing that circus question.
Why, Dan? You scared?
No,
you scared?
It's not going to happen. It's
why,
in Madden, maybe. In Madden, maybe. But it's not happening.
Why do you think it's not going to happen? Why do you think it's not going to happen?
It's not. Man.
Why? Why do you think that? He has to go somewhere.
No, you know what? I'm going to go with
Aaron Rodgers is not going anywhere.
Forget Aaron Rodgers. I'm talking about Watson because we already tried, but until that crap came out. But they're talking about they're settling right now, and we'll see.
Yo, I could listen over on our podcast. We talked about this a lot, and we saw a scenario where it was Tua for Watson with not as many picks. Now it's going to now you can maybe keep both with what he's worth now with Watson. Mm-hmm. But no, we saw that scenario for a long time, Tua and Watson changing hands in Miami. So that one I don't think is that unreal of a reality. And that's been our fucking fear. We talked about that the whole time. Like it's that could actually happen. That pisses me off that it could, but that could actually happen. The Watson end up in Miami.
It's not happening. Please don't say that so confidently. But
Dan act like he can't. Dan act like he can't man up and answer the question. If it did happen, Dan.
Just because I think it's funny how Dolphins fans love clinging on to the possibilities.
Like here we go. He's scared.
What if we didn't lose by 56 points on Week 17 last year? What if Deshaun Watson comes there? Just
you scared. You're nervous, Dan.
Relish in your current team, man.
Dan, you're nervous. You're nervous, bro.
And so, but what, a fantasy, a story time, a bedtime story? Ooh, Deshaun Watson goes out to Miami, changes their organization. It's fiction. It hasn't happened. If it happens, then I will answer the question.
Hey, man.
All right. Get ready, Dan. We already know your answer, Dan. Okay. We already know your answer.
All right. Well, we know that it's definitely possible, but at the same time, we have no idea what's going on with Deshaun Watson. If the Miami Dolphins ended up with Deshaun Watson, you know what? I'm okay because the Jets are still going to have the best quarterback in the division, Zach Wilson. All right. So let's get to my prediction. I just want to sound like TD once, guys. Can you allow me to sound like that? That was pretty cool. You know, I said something that was not true. You know what I mean? But no, in all seriousness, if the Miami Dolphins get Deshaun Watson, I'm going to be pretty upset. It's going to be a devastating day if that ever happens. Say hypothetically, it's reality, right? If the Miami Dolphins, I feel like, are built to compete right now, the only question mark is the quarterback position, simply because Tua is coming off a rookie campaign where he showed some promise and he showed some, some traits where you're like, I don't know if he has it. And that's what's holding back the Miami Dolphins. Not saying that Tua is not going to be something, but it's just a question mark. But if you plug in Deshaun Watson, it's no longer a question mark. So you already got a top 5 defense. You are building an offense around a young Tua. But now if it's Watson, then yes, the Miami Dolphins are definitely going to be a very scary team in the AFC East and in the entire AFC. But hey, not happening. That's the last time I ever give any energy that hypothetical, because that will be pretty nuts.
Remember what I said.
Yeah, we will. All right, so now we're going to get to my schedule since we don't want to hear TD talk about 17 in a row. Here we go. I know you're all so interested. Eddie, thanks for the donation, buddy. Over 350 watching. Hit that like button. Guys, if you did not smash that thumbs up button, make sure you do so. We got 350 of you guys tuning in. 125 people watching. let's get to 200 likes, guys. Smash that thumbs up button if you're enjoying this episode of the AFC East Roundtable. I don't know when the next time we're gonna go live. I'm down to go every week, low key, but I know we're busy.
Yo, dude, honestly, man, like, let's just bring this back.
Yeah, like I don't want to wait till August to see you guys again.
Yeah, dude, like I mean, like, and so we can think of a bunch of shit to do.
Yeah, we can. I'm down, and
no, I'm good.
Master at Work always said that he doesn't want to do it until then, and so if he can't do it, then we got Dear Pats Nation. He can be a special guest if he's down, because I feel like we got a good Patriots guy. But I'm down to keep going. It doesn't have to be every week, but it seems like a lot of you guys love this, so we got to bring back the AFC East Roundtable. If you guys want to see us go live more often, because initially this was going to be the last episode until training camp begins. So if you guys want to see more AFC East Roundtable episodes more frequently, smash that thumbs up button, get us over 200 likes, and we'll see from there. So let's get into the Jets schedule, because this is pretty interesting, man. As a Jets fan, I look at the schedule and I'm very content, because last year it was a nightmare. So week 1, we are versing Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers. Pretty insane. Right when I heard that news, not a fan of it, to be honest. I prefer not to verse Sam. I'm actually somebody that's rooting for Sam to succeed. I attach myself to him. Obviously, I'm not rooting for him to succeed week 1, but I want him to prove to the NFL that he's a good quarterback and he's going to be solid in the NFL. So, but we're not letting Sam get the light. And we're winning week 1. Jets go 1-0, and we start off the season hot at 1-0, and we show the rest of the NFL we made the right decision by drafting Zach Wilson. Now, week 2 is our home opener, a game that I'm at. So am I going to be biased because I want the Jets to win to a game I just spent a lot of money to be at? Maybe. But I'm saying that the Jets end up shocking the world and going 2-0 to win to start the year. 2-0. Let's go, baby. Everyone in the chat, say I'm delusional, say I'm trash, whatever you guys want to say, but go for it, man. I'm having fun. All right, and then we go to Denver. we verse the Denver Broncos. This is a game that's winnable, but we're going to end up losing, unfortunately. So the Jets are going to be 2-1, and then we're going to go back home to verse the Tennessee Titans, and we're going to beat Ryan Tannehill, and we're going to be 3-1. And then we go all the way to London. We go all the way overseas to London and versus the Atlanta Falcons. We're going to prove to our loyal New York Jets fans in Germany and the UK, all over Europe, that we're here to stay, and the New York Jets win in London against the Atlanta Falcons. So the Jets start the year off going into their bye week 4-1. Uh-oh. Now it's time to get some losses, because I can't. All right, so now we're versing the New England Patriots again in Foxborough. This is a loss. We're not going to sweep the Patriots. It's even insane that I gave them a win week 2. And then we go home to verse the Cincinnati Bengals. So now we're 5-2. We're going to beat Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. I have confidence in that game. And then we go to Indianapolis and verse the Colts. So we're 6-2. And then we're going to lose to the Colts, 6-3. We're going to go home against the Buffalo Bills. We're going to lose to the Bills, 6-4. We're going to verse the Miami Dolphins at home. We're going to beat the Miami Dolphins. That's right.
Yeah.
And we are 7-4. We go up against the Houston Texans, 8-4.
What?
Wait.
Where are you going with this, bro?
Am I at 8-5 or 8-4? I'm totally lost.
You're at 8-5.
8-5. Okay, so the Philadelphia Phillies, the Jets have never won against the Eagles in history, right? And we're going to lose to them again. 8-6. The New Orleans Saints, 8-7. We're going to go on a little losing streak. The Miami Dolphins, 8-8. We're going to lose to them. We're going to split the series with the Miami Dolphins. So we're 8-8 right now. No, wait, that's not possible. We're not 8-8. Oh, my God. I got still got 3 games left. Oh, my God. I'm so all over the place right now. So
just take another loss from Miami and just go.
Yeah, right. So we're versing Trevor Lawrence, and we're going to beat Trevor, saying that Zach Wilson's better. We're going to lose to Tampa, and we're going to lose to Buffalo. So that our record's going to be 8-9. All right. So that's my prediction. The New York Jets go 8-9, and we split the division series. We go 3-3 in the division. We beat the Patriots. We beat the Bills. We beat the Dolphins once, and you guys can beat us 3 in a row. Hey, man, I'm trying to be as realistic, delusional as possible. I'm hopeful right now. I know it's
realistically delusional.
I don't know if that's a word, but I completely threw it out of the air. Jets go 8-9. They establish a foundation. We win some games that we're not supposed to win. And hey, the New York Jets are coming. As Julius Randle says for the New York Knicks, New York, we here. Yes, sir. All right, guys. So that does it for this episode of the AFC East Roundtable. We appreciate everybody tuning in. This was a lot of fun. If you guys did not smash that thumbs up button, please make sure you do so. I think I got donations that I missed. I'm sorry while I was doing that. Crazy. Oh, here it is. Thank you for letting me know. I do not want to miss any donations. But before we end the stream, Kevin Lee, question for everyone. Who has more receiving yards this year, Waddle or Diggs? Does Waddle get Rookie of the Year? All right, so this is a question for TD and Dan. If I had to guess, I think that Diggs will have more yards because Stephon Diggs is an established receiver and Jalen Waddle is a rookie. But you still never know. Dan, what's your assessment on this?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's very few positions that translate into the NFL that see almost automatic success. Wide receiver typically isn't one of those, more so of a running back type thing. I think Waddle's a great pick. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, he's a hell of a receiver. I think he's better than Devontae Smith. I'll be completely honest with you. But I think Diggs will still have more yards than a rookie, for sure.
How about you, TD? Who's going to have more yards? Stephon Diggs, a bona fide top receiver in the NFL, or rookie Jalen Waddle?
Diggs will have more by far, actually.
Wow.
That's the primary target.
Yeah.
That's the, I mean, he'll have more. We're gonna spread the ball out. We're just gonna.
Does Waddle get Rookie of the Year?
No. Jalen Phillips does.
Well, it's offensive defense. So.
Oh, offensive Rookie of the Year.
Elijah Moore.
I wouldn't give him offensive Rookie of the Year. I really wouldn't.
I think a quarterback's gonna win that.
Yeah, one of those quarterbacks. Because one of them are gonna show up and they're already gonna get preference.
Wait, which quarterback though?
I don't get me to guessing. I'm just saying it'll be one of them. It's too many for not to be one of them to have a successful season because almost every single one of them, with the exception of the Patriots, will be starting.
All right, I love it. So, and Frank Elon Musk. Oh, I just want to say, Kevin, I appreciate the donation, man. Always appreciate your support. You always tune in to Jets Media. Means a lot, man. And then Anne Frank Elon Musk says, I'm loving the rivalry between Dan and TD. Make a bet. All right, guys.
He won't bet with me anymore.
Who won't? If you answer that Watson question, I'll bet you. Yeah, you scared, Dan. It's all right. You already know, man. Josh Allen is trash. We don't need to go back and forth right now. Josh Allen got exposed in the AFC East Championship game, and that is your future. That is your future, bro.
Okay, so this bet right here. Okay, so I'm like, this is going to be even easier for you to win. Well, I mean, maybe not. Okay, week two, if the Buffalo Bills win and Josh Allen throws for over 300 yards, then you need to wear a Josh Allen jersey the second game that we play. So if we win and Josh Allen doesn't throw for over 300 yards, nothing happens. If we lose, then I wear a Dolphins jersey during the Bills. And even if the Bills win and Josh Allen throws 298, you are off the hook. But if the Bills win and Josh Allen throws for over 300 yards, then you have to wear a Josh Allen jersey.
Very confident bet from Dan Mitchell right there. Will TD accept it? Drum roll, please.
I'll set my own betting terms on the next episode. On the next episode of AFC East Roundtable.
All right, TD scared.
Next episode of AFC
you heard it here
East
first,
Roundtable.
guys. TD Finstock is afraid of Josh Allen beating the Miami Dolphins and throwing for
I'm
over
not
300
afraid
passing
of
yards.
him beating
TD
us.
is scared of Josh
That's why
Allen
he's
throwing
thinking about
300
it.
yards and beating him. You guys heard it here first. And
I
Frank-
accept the freaking bet. Thanks,
Oh!
Richie. I accept the freaking bet. Richie, I got some words for you, buddy. I accept the bet because we're not losing to them. Those freaking bums, they trash of all trash, man. We are not losing to those Buffalo Bills, man. I accept the bet. All y'all got to do is lose and you lose, right?
Yeah. Say that we win and Josh Allen doesn't throw for 300 yards, then you
I don't care about the yards. You're going to lose. That's all that matters. You're losing anyway. 17 and freaking 0 speaks for itself. You're losing. Bet accepted. But I got a bet for you.
Okay, let's hear it.
The second Buffalo game that we play.
Mm-hmm.
When we beat y'all in the second game, it's simple. You got to buy. You know what? Let me make this interesting. You got to buy a Jason Sanders jersey and wear it in week 17. Whatever the last week of the season is, you got to wear it on that week. I don't care if it's a crazy team you playing. It don't matter. You have to wear a Jason Sanders, a freaking Jason Sanders Dolphins jersey. Yep.
All right. So if we lose, okay. So if I lose the second game, it has nothing to do with the first game. Anything could happen in the first game. If we lose the second game, then I need to wear a Jason Sanders jersey, week 17, last game of the year
against the Jets.
Last game of the year versus the Jets, and you make sure you explain to everybody why you're wearing it. Easy money. Easy money.
I'll take it.
Well, that's a pretty interesting bet right there. All right, guys. So I think that's it for the bets.
I got to give my kicker some money, some revenue from the jersey sales.
All right. I love it. I love it. So that does it for the episode of the AFC East Roundtable. Hopefully I got to all your donations. I appreciate all the support, guys. We're going to go around the table one more time. Give your final thoughts of whenever you want to talk about. Give some, positive energy around your team. Dan, starting with you, man.
Yeah, man, I'm going to take this opportunity to also say my send-off. But first off, guys, I was pumped. I was super happy that the schedule finally got released. I actually already ended up buying tickets to a couple of games. So, I'm excited while I was waiting my turn to speak. But as far as what's going on my channel, I'm dropping a video every single day for a year. I started on May 9th, completely committing to it. There's no more bullshitting, baby. I'm taking this shit seriously. So definitely tune in, make it happen. There's going to be a lot of damn content, and I have some pretty cool things in the pipeline as well. So,
all right, guys. So
awesome. Dan
Mitchell will be posting a video for a year straight. That is insane. I hope that you can do that, Dan, because that is not easy. Dear Pats Nation, what's going on with you on your channel, and you want to plug anything you got going on with your podcast?
Yeah. So you can check us out over at just Dear Pats Nation. My name's Ray, by the way. Just
Ray.
I go by Ray. I don't go by Dear Pats. My podcast is called Dear Pats Nation. We just recently got fired from Sportscaster, so we're solo now doing our own podcast, so we can actually do whatever the fuck we want, and we're happy about that because we're able to get a little bit more creative. So you can check us out there. You can download our shit on any of the podcast networks every Monday and Thursday. We talk about the Patriots, the Red Sox. I give lessons about Canada, and we talk about basically anything else that's going on in the world. So check us out there.
Awesome, Ray. Sounds good, man. TD, how about you?
Everybody knows they can check me out at TD PHINS Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans, dominators of the AFC East. New plug. But yeah, man, that's it, man. Y'all check me out. Y'all already know who I am. Hey, Ray, when the stream ends, stay on for 1 second. I did have a question for you, all right?
Yes, sir.
But outside of that, man, I'm good.
All right, sounds good, guys. We appreciate all you guys going crazy in the chat. It was a lot of debates. We saw you guys going crazy. The Jets, Bills, Dolphins, Pats fans. We're all in it together. But, hey, we got a long off season to wait. I'm down to keep going live every single Wednesday night for as much as we can do it. So stay tuned for more content here on Jets Media and, of course, on all the other channels of Dan and Ray's channel and TD. So you guys know where to find us. That does it for this episode of the AFC East Roundtable. We'll catch you guys next time. And let's go